me and Laura were just in this bar, and there's this fucking woman, and she's trying to pull us home for a threesome. It's like, come to my hotel. Actually, it's around here. She said it's the Marriott at near the Inn Center. She gets a room number. We can actually go right now if we want to. But she was so aggressive. She was like, "But you guys are gonna eat my pussy, right? You're gonna eat my pussy, right?" And she was so aggressive. She's like, "I want to feel pleasure." She was almost talking like a man. It was literally
was she
like
Australian?
No, she was like really Canadian from like a small town in Canada. She's just here for work, so she was talking very aggressively and talking like a fucking guy. And we were just like, yeah, like honestly, I'm not down. Because here's the thing, she's okay, but she's a little bit older than me. She's probably mid-30s. Okay.
Old grandma.
She's not the ugliest woman. She was okay. Okay. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go through all these hoops to, you know, pleasure this fucking old woman. I wasn't down for that. And that's what I was thinking. I was telling Laura about quality versus quantity. Hey guys, my name is Justin. I'm here with
Bradicus
in my city of Toronto. And in today's video, we're going to talk about quality of you know, women versus quantity. Okay. And Brad, I'm sure you have a lot of insight into this topic.
So I think that obviously we'll want to prioritize the quality of women over the quantity, but at first, to get reference experiences when you don't necessarily deserve the quality of women in which you want, and you don't have the experience to get such women, you don't have that sophistication, you don't have that travel experience, you don't have that, that developedness as a human being. You know, you don't have many experiences playing the numbers game, and going for quantity of women will actually end up getting you the quality in the long run.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so I guess today we're going to be talking about quality of women versus quantity of women, and this can be applied to a lot of things in life. You know, going for many without having as much standards and without, you know, worrying too much about what you're actually going for, or actually going for what you fucking want, and not settling for second best.
I think every pickup guy has a stage in their life where they just chase women, fuck women in a mass amounts quantity. Okay, I know myself personally. Last year, I was just sleeping with as many women as possible. Lower standards, and then it got to a point where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I have a fuck buddy here, fuck buddy there. Better looking, way better quality. Still not the type of people I would bring around my friends necessarily. Okay, and then once you start doing that, your standards change. Once you are proud of the woman you're with, it's kind of weird because your standards change, and then you'll get to a point where you're only going for the absolute quality. Now I work in the nightlife industry. I host at a very kind of, I guess you could say, affluent nightlife venue here in Toronto, Canada, where table game, bottles, it can help you. It's also a place of volume, so it's really weird because I can go there with either mindset of, hey, go for quantity, approach 100 girls, leave with one, or I can go for quality where like I go in, I'm just chilling, I meet my favorite girls, and I have a threesome. So I've done both. I've literally met random girls, pulled them, and had a cool one stand, or I've had threesomes from that venue by hanging out, grabbing drinks, like kind of soul circle stuff. Even last Saturday, you missed it, man. It was awesome because I was just in a booth with 3 bottles, bottle of Hennessy, lit on another bottle of Hennessy, bottle of Grey Goose vodka. It was like thousands of dollars in drinks. That's what it costs in one of these venues, right? And just packed with women. Because like I showed up with 5 women. Other buddies showed up with another 5 women. Then we cold approached women when we were there, brought them to the booth as well. So at any given moment, there's like at least a dozen beautiful chicks in the booth. And it's just me and one friend, okay? And that's awesome because then you're just surrounded with, you're kind of put in a position where it's quality only, because you get to pick from abundance. Are you going to pick the ugliest girl, or are you going to pick the quality ones, right? It just makes sense because when you have a lot of women and not a lot of guys, they're almost going to fight for your attention. So one way I personally, switch from quantity of women to quality, and you can actually do both. So you can actually have a lot of quantity and have quality. That's a thing. And what I was doing last year is I do a lot of parties. So on my rooftop, I do rooftop parties. If you dig through my channel, you would see I filmed some of them. It's really cool. And I can think of this one night where we just, the party's on the rooftop, and then my condo's downstairs on the 7th floor, and we'd pull girls downstairs, hook up with them, go back upstairs, leave them back at the party, pull other girls, go downstairs, hook up with them, go back to the party, leave them back on the roof. And that's another thing you can do when you bring the social circle aspect into it. That's where the quality will come from, because usually these high quality women, they've got, you're competing with other guys, status, authority. As Brad was saying, you want to be an articulate, well-read, well-spoken, well-traveled guy if you want quality women, because, what's a quality woman looking for, Brad? What do you think?
So when I'm thinking about this, when I'm thinking about the quality of women in which I want, it came to some of the things you said. Is this the kind of girl I'm enjoying being around more than I'm just like... So this is the thing, if I am having more time just sitting in bed doing nothing by myself, editing videos and spending time with a girl, to me that's not a quality person to hang out with. Yep. So that's like the minimum, right? That's the minimum bar, but it goes up, right? Do I feel proud to introduce that girl to my friends? Would I consider that person someone to travel with? Now, obviously the girl needs to be attractive, but...
Physically attractive.
Physically attractive, yes. But if the girl is open-minded, if she's up for different things, if she's open to traveling, that kind of stuff, and to me is quality. But I think a lot of guys out there, right, you don't even have the opportunity to make something happen with a lot of quality girls, because you don't have that value to offer them, or like they kind of just walk off, right? Or you're on Tinder and they won't even match you, that kind of thing, right? So what you need to be doing in that circumstance is, what's better, right? If you're in your bed doing nothing and you have no experience, or you could at least be like practicing meeting people, because so this is the way I'm going to put it, right? So I have a lot of experience with women. I can actually get the quality, right? And I've admittedly been with some unattractive women, especially when I was younger. And the reason why you kind of need to do that, you don't necessarily have to do that, but if you want to get better faster when you're coming from not really much, as you're coming from here, if you're coming from very low, right, if you don't have much experience socially, you can go for the hot women. Now, I don't want you to ever not go for the girl you want because you're like, oh, she's too high quality or whatever, right? Because that's an actual excuse to yourself. It's like saving your ego and all that stuff. But you need to maximize the chances you have, right? So if there's a few hot girls, you're going to go for them, but you're also going to go for other women around as well. Sorry, we're doing a video, buddy. You're also going to go for other women around, so you get the chances to actually improve yourself. So you're not going to improve yourself sitting on the computer doing nothing, right? So if you only have a few leads and you don't have much to offer these girls, these really hot women that you actually want, you're probably not going to go out on dates with them if you don't have much to offer them. Maybe you'll get lucky, right? But sitting on your computer doing nothing is never going to get you more chances, right? And if you're like never getting any dates because the quality of girls you're going for is too high because you have no experience, you're going to get nowhere. So you have to kind of stretch your, I guess, your willingness of people you want to hang around. So you can start, going out and spending more time with these women, going on dates, and you don't even necessarily have to have sex with them. You just need to get better with appreciating people, interacting with them, and at least being a man and leading it and doing the things that hotter women are attracted to.
And so that gets your quality up.
Some of the you can speak to a woman that you're not necessarily interested in, but the more time you spend with some of these girls, some of the stuff you do will carry on through to hotter women. Now, if you're someone, there's a lot of guys out here actually that are actually really good with talking to women, and they don't know it, and they actually can get hot girls, but they just fuck themselves in the head and go for the less attractive women because it's kind of intimidating for them to go for the hot women, and they don't read the signs or see the things that are actually possible. The girl's actually into them, they don't see it, and they're not going for an ugly girl because to them that's comfortable, that's something they're used to, and it's not intimidating for them.
Or because they have low self-esteem, and so
it puts them in their head.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll think that they can't get it up because the girl's too hot enough feel intimidated by you, that kind of thing, right? That's shooting yourself in the foot, because you can actually go for the quality then. The only time I would tell you to go for more of a quantity of people is when you need a quantity of people to get like a reference of what you need to do in the future. Obviously there's more to talk about here than just this thing, but yeah, always be going for the quality, because the quality is actually what's the word I'm looking
Representative.
for?
Reflective.
Yeah, that's not how I want to use the sentence. It's not representing. If you go for the quality women, it's representing what you want in life, right? So it's not necessarily a shallow thing about just looks. It represents someone you want to actually spend time with and be with, right? And if that's something you kind of have to go through a lot of shit to get to, it's worth it. But if you have that experience and you can actually do it, don't waste your time going for people you don't want to spend time around. Go for what you actually want, but realize that sometimes you just like got to do what you got to do, and I guess that's playing the quantity. That's like going and talking to a lot of girls. Now, for me, it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, okay, time is very valuable, right? So if I was to just like go for every girl, if I was to literally hit up every single girl on the street, I wouldn't be a free person. I wouldn't be able to do what I want. So I don't mean like when I'm saying go for quantity, go for like an old grandma, like try to fuck everything that moves. You wouldn't be able to. You'd be so focused on the quantity, you would miss the quality. So there needs to be a balance, basically, and you need to still value your time and have other shit to do. Get over here, Justin.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Just the fact that when you build up also lifestyle, it helps with the quality as well. So there's a couple things you could do to build up the quality. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So there's a couple things you can do to build up the quality, and one of them is, obviously approach the hotter women, approach the more attractive women, the ones you like better, the ones you're physically attracted to. Fucking go for them. Go for what you want and deserve. But another thing is you also attract what you are. So if you pimp out your fashion, groom your hair, get off your computer once in a while and go out. Go read some books, hit the gym, pimp out your body, pimp out your fashion. Like even today, my girlfriend took me shopping. She's like, Justin, dress for once, let me dress you up. And I'm just like wearing new shit.
You actually do look good. I don't know.
I'm uncomfortable wearing these new clothes. But just the fact that like when you do pimp yourself out, you attract who you are. So a woman can actually see you in her demographic or like as part of her reality.
So you attract who you are, but if you expand who you are by putting yourself in more circumstances and experiencing new people and being more open-minded, you become more of a person, so you attract more people.
Yeah, it's funny because my girlfriend's Mexican. I spent time in Mexico and I noticed everywhere I go I attract Mexicans or Latino women like all over me. I don't even do anything, just doing a little bit of Spanish, but I just have that vibe and understanding of their culture. And now like I have all these like Latinos who want to sleep with me now. It's fucking weird how that works, right? Or I know Brad, you spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe, and now you attract a lot of like Ukrainian women,
seriously,
right?
I'm in Toronto right now. I'm in Ukraine, and I think of like the quality women as Ukrainian women and Russian women. In my mind, that's the quality women. And last time I came to Toronto, I saw none of them. And even when I've like been going through life before this, I would be in a lot of cities and never see them ever, and I didn't know they existed. But now, no matter where I am, it's almost like so many of the girls I'm approaching are from the countries I find the quality women to be from. And I think it's something after you develop what you find quality in your life through going through quantity, you're able to find the quality much easier because you subconsciously know what you're looking for.
Because everyone's got a different idea of what quality is and what they like. Everyone's got a different passion, right? Some people, Brad went to school for computer science and for statistics. I went to school for business, right? So like everyone has got different things that they like.
So you can trust me. Trust me, I didn't do business. I'm kidding.
Okay, so
kidding.
No, the whole point is, go for what you want, but you're not right now. Probably, if you're watching this video, for a good portion of you, not everyone. There's a lot of advanced guys who watch the content as well, but for a lot of you guys,
you want to go for quality. Then
it's probably guys who don't really go out and take action. Probably guys who don't really leave their house.
90% of you fuckers right now, I probably could have done a lot more this week to go and get more results.
Probably 95% of the guys watching this video.
And that comes down to quantity
much
of
action.
like situations to put yourself in, you know, quantity of women in which you approach. And we're not saying go for low quality women, we're saying maximize the quantity so then you have more chances.
And once you do that, you'll have to understand what you like. You learn, you know, what you like, you learn how to get it, and then you'll just go for that quality naturally all the time, right? And you'll avoid situations similar to the one I was just in, where this fucking woman's trying to pull me and my girlfriend to her hotel for a threesome, and we didn't want to do it. Because I was like, well, this woman's not really up to par, but also she was being very sexually aggressive. She was saying like, I'm down, like she's talking like a man. I'm not attracted to that, right? Like, I'm really into Latinas lately. That's really what I'm into. And I'm into women who are more feminine. She was very almost masculine. She's also much, much older. I'm not really into older women. I'm into women like younger than me, actually. So, you know, I knew I'm not attracted to this older woman who's being super sexually aggressive, who's telling me to like eat her pussy and saying like, pleasure me. You and your girlfriend are gonna threesome me. And, you know, I'd be down for a threesome if she was hot. And I left her and I met another girl. And we met this actually beautiful woman who's perfectly in my demographic, 21 years old, white, tattoos, really, really cute. And, you know, she was obviously into me. And I invited her to a sex club tomorrow, right? And she said, yeah, she wants to come. Cool. So, you know, I saw one option. It was a guaranteed threesome.
It's because he knows his value. Because he knows the quality in which he's likely to get statistically on a night, given what's around and what's happening, is going to be somewhere, right? And he felt like he could have done the potential of doing more was better than what was offered to him then. And he also has the ability to say no to people because he isn't so needy to make something happen. He doesn't need that experience because he's had a lot of experiences before.
Like, I've already had a lot of threesomes. It would actually be a lower quality threesome than what I'm used to. Because usually when we pull threesomes, because my girlfriend's attractive, she holds me to a much higher standard. Like, she won't even let me go for lower quality women. And like, not only do I have to like him, she also has to like him too. None of us were liking this girl, so this woman who's trying to pull us just now. And so I was like, hey Brad, do you want to come meet me and film a video? And so now we're here.
I was going to sleep, but here I am.
So, you know, when you actually know what you want, you get to pick and choose and make the right decisions based on your life. And, you know, chances are I'd end up wasting the night in a really awkward threesome where I can't, you know, fully enjoy it because, you know, it's not what I'm attracted to. You know, you could always do it for the reference experience. You can always do it for the reference experience, right? As a lot of people say. And that's good when you're early in, you know, when you're newer at this stuff. So if you're early in, man, you know, okay, fuck the old lady. Go have sex with an old lady. Go have a threesome with an old lady, okay? But, you know, obviously when you're years into this stuff or, you know, when you're trying to get more advanced, you know, or even if you have a handful of references and you have another one that's going to be very similar, you know, see how you can expand it, make it better, make it a more fulfilling experience. You know what I mean? If you have two beautiful women side by side, one's really hot, maybe down to fuck you, one's okay, 100% down to fuck you. You know, if you're newer to this, of course, go for the one who's for sure down to sleep with you. Okay? I know even me personally, you know, if I was single, and you know, when you're single, you don't know when the next time you're getting laid is. For some guys, it could be, you know, 2 weeks from now. For some guys, it could be 2 months from now, depending on how action you take. So, you know, obviously go for the woman who's more down to sleep with you. But obviously, you know, if you're in a relationship, or if, you know, you're like Brad and you have a lot of options of girls to sleep with, lots of fuck places in different cities, you know, lots of abundance, then obviously, you know, it makes more logical sense and even emotional sense to go for the woman who's less down to sleep with you, but will be a much more valuable experience in the long run.
So, do you think that's about what we need to say?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, so, I mean, this is probably on your channel, right?
Yeah, sure, I'll throw it on my channel.
I guess all you guys know Justin. My name is Bradicus. In case you don't know me, I also have a channel. Links in the description below, most likely. We have another video that we've done together that's also my channel, and that's going to be either about one of these two topics that we haven't figured out yet. One's going to be 5 tips to have sex on the first date, and the other one's going to be like why your excuses about where you live are bullshit. And you can find that video in the link in the description below.
All right, thanks guys. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you're subscribed. And make sure to check out Bradicus. Actually, Bradicus is literally one of my best friends, and he's one of the best in the world to pick up. And that's not even bullshit. Like, it's so weird. I see a lot of guys kind of almost throw shade at Brad. And like, Brad doesn't get hot girls. Brad doesn't get laid. But I've seen him firsthand pull a lot of beautiful fucking women. We've gone out, we've hung out. I've hung with your girls, you hung with my girls, and I've seen Brad pull some fucking hot girls, dude. Even the other night, we were out with my lesbian friend who slays. Actually, I was just with her, right? And by the way, she just fucked another girl in a fucking car just now.
Oh, good on her.
For coming here. But Brad stole her girl and had sex with her girl. So Brad's got wicked game.
Sorry about that, Leslie girl.
Anyway, guys.
And the man filming it right now, wing me with the trans friends.
Oh God, you're putting this guy out there, but anyway, no one knows who he is. It's okay.
That's fine.
But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Check out Brad, subscribe to us, and we'll see you soon.
Braddock is out.